All right. So we're having fun with these. You, Cerise, you run a membership with people who want to learn how to create systems to bring people into their website
Mhm.
and then from there become clients. I run a group for strategy and systems. So today's conversation is about systems set you free. This thought, I mean, this was really a big insight for me some 15 years ago or so when the book or the E-Myth Revisited came out. If you guys ever want to find it and read it, it's super, super fun, easy read.
It's the least boring business book ever.
Yes, exactly. And it's told in a story. It's a woman who took over a bakery from her aunt, grandma, or whatever, and was super, super passionate about baking cakes. You guys just equate training horses, treating horses, whatever. Over time, she would not only bake the cakes, she would also clean the counters and sell the cakes, close the doors and open the door and deliver the cakes, order the ingredients, equal muck the stalls, transport the horses to horse shows, wait for the vet, hold the
Set up
horse for the shoer,
all of that.
same thing, right? It's identical. And the coach, the mentor says to her, look, there are no systems. You do everything. You actually said a system is a setup that it's set up once and then it runs without conscious effort or thought. His whole point was more systems there are in a business, more free you are to do the parts that are not systematizable.
And the
If
things
you
you love the most about the business.
Right. So if you get a horse in that just tugs on your heart and you know that almost every aspect of your business runs on systems, then you go and you spend some time with that horse because that's what enriches your soul, makes the horse happy. That's all good. But you cannot do that when everything else falls apart while you sit with that horse. And that's really running a bakery or a horse facility or your own business without a system. So today we're going to talk about actually two systems. And even in the book, he was talking about McDonald's being based on systems. Most non-chef dependent restaurants are based on systems. So we call them SOPs, standard operating systems. If you've ever been to a fast food window, usually behind the person handing out the burger or whatever the thing is, there's a chart that shows very clearly, first we take the bun, then the lettuce, then this, then that, blah, blah, blah. That's an SOP. It's just the visual part for SOP. You might have an SOP as this is how we muck out stalls. This is how we groom a horse. This is how we run billing. And what his point was, in more SOPs you have, faster you can replace yourself and others with new labor. Because all you have to do is give them the, burger making chart. And within 15 minutes, they are burger flippers. It's cheaper labor, it's faster turnaround if you have to, and it sets you free to not constantly re-educate, redo this, fill in here, fill in there, and actually not do what you love to do. So that's system number one.
So the other side of systems is technology. And before you run screaming for the hills, because horse people really don't like technology, you're too busy in the barn to figure it out, yada, yada, yada. We know technology has become simpler to learn and simpler to run and cheaper than putting somebody in place or than you spending your precious time and energy doing the things that the technology can do. Additionally, it actually lets you do things like build relationships at scale. That one is really huge. So if you've been with us for a while, taking in our content, you've heard us perhaps talk about how your website starts to get you clients, right? You speak directly to your ideal customer about their needs, wants, desires, problems, struggles, what have you. And eventually you get them to sign up for some piece of free content in exchange for their email address. Email addresses are one of the most valuable things that you can collect because once you have them and they have opted in to receive information from you, you then have the ability to do what we call nurture email campaigns, which means that you get to deliver valuable pieces of educational or inspirational content to their inbox weekly, daily, monthly, whatever schedule works for you to create the content, set it up, and then have it automatically send so that you don't ever have to think about the sending process again. So essentially, you have one action to take and then respond if you get any inquiries. It allows you to build trust. It allows you to have your potential or existing customers feel connected to you, feel like you continuously care about them, receive ongoing value in exchange for nothing but their attention, so that when they are ready to make a purchase of services from you, you are the first and only person that they think about who could possibly help them achieve what they are looking to achieve.
They feel like they know you. You've been building a relationship with them. And actually, before you move on to other systems, some time ago, we were talking to a marketing company, like an ad company in Ireland. Remember, I was telling you, like, I really like them. They
Yep.
never followed up. There was no nurture email sequence at all.
Mhm.
We weren't ready at that point. Now we actually have a client that we could so use this company for. Like, we were so ready to spend thousands of dollars a month on them, and we have no idea who they are. What we're actually trying to say is, when somebody comes to your facility or inquires on your services, a small percentage of those actually interested in Ideal for you are ready at that exact moment. They may be ready 6 months from now, 4 months from now, 4 years from now. We run something called the Unhobbled Foundation program, help you from accidental service provider to a strategic business owner course. And there were some people in there that I think I've been in touch with for the last 5 years. And it was a single email announcing that this course was being offered, and they became clients. And what's now that they're in it, now they would like this, and they would like this, and they would like this, et cetera, right? So this first initial transaction has to be on your potential client's timeline, not yours. So an automation like this basically eliminates the hard sell. You don't
Mhm.
have to sell hard. If you're not ready today, that's no problem. You're now part of our community. They get regular invites to your open house, to this, etc. When they're ready, they buy.
This also ties in really well to what I do with my marketing and lead generation group. We follow the teachings of somebody named Alex Hermosi, phenomenal marketer. He likes to say that basically you give value until people feel dumb not buying from you, because they realize that they've been getting all of this little bits of information piecemeal from you. And if they just shelled out a little bit of money, they could have the entire solution laid out for them in a step-by-step manner. It really does take away the need to sell. It's just giving value. And for those of you out there that feel like you want to be able to serve people that can't necessarily afford your prices, what a great way to serve them, by continuously delivering value to them in their inbox on a daily basis, or on your social media feed on a daily basis. That leads to the next question of, oh God, I don't want to spam them. I don't want them to feel like I'm overloading them. But when you're delivering value in every piece of email, every piece of content that you give them, you're actually doing a service, and you become what they look forward to in their
Right.
inbox or on their newsfeed.
So that is one system we recommend to everybody. There are other uses of email systems, such as welcome emails, onboarding emails, contract signing emails, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one system. What you mentioned before our conversation is that there are two, which you're right, are highly valuable, but very underutilized by our professionals. So which ones are they?
Automated booking calendars that not only allow your clients to, or potential clients to, book time with you or classes with you, but also to pay upfront, and also to receive ongoing reminders until the time of the service. Because who here has, as a trainer or a saddle fitter, somebody that is taking up valuable time to work with somebody, had a no-show?
Oh,
or had to chase payment after the fact. But by simply having a built in automated calendar where it syncs with a digital calendar on your end, where you manage your availability so that they can only book at specific times that are convenient for your schedule, pay up front, and then once they do that, you never have to think about it until you show up again because they're getting reminders and they don't forget, they don't double book because it's all been automated for you. Years ago, I used to be the head trainer for a very wealthy client up in Pennsylvania, and I would travel 3 weeks on and then 3 weeks off at home where I would have my freelance clients. And everybody thought I was just this genius for the level of organization I had because through my website, if they wanted a time slot with me when I was home, they would have to book. And then it would go onto my digital calendar, and I lived and died by that calendar because there was no way I could keep myself organized otherwise with how much I was gone. And they would get their reminders, they could pay up front. It made not only my life easier, but it made their lives easier too.
every doctor has an automated booking system. We just moved, so I had to find a couple new doctors.
Mhm.
Definitely pick the one that has the booking system. I don't know anything about them, so what do I know which one is the better one? So I book the booking system, I get a text, I get
Mhm.
the email, I need to reschedule, I don't need to call them again, wait for however long, and then here they even have lunchtime and yada yada yada. I just click on that button, reschedule, set, done.
Mhm.
That is a convenience that at this point makes my buying decision.
And the other thing too is, for example, I'm married to a farrier, and he gets text messages for people needing his services at 11 o'clock at night. Now, in that case, and massage therapists, body workers, you're probably in the same boat. He can't just say, okay, schedule an appointment whenever you want, because he's got to travel to them. But with an online booking system that has potential availability dates, where they don't necessarily get a concrete time, but they put in the request for that time and then it gets confirmed, not only are they being able to at least get on your calendar for needing attention when they're thinking about it, because some people are so busy in their day-to-day lives, it isn't until they're sitting down at 11 o'clock at night in bed scrolling when they go, oh God, my horse really needs a chiropractic adjustment and I need to get on the calendar now, and I keep forgetting about it. Having that ability to just book a request is enough for them. It makes them feel like their needs are met 24/7 without you having to have your phone blow up, and wake up to 50 million text messages in the morning.
Love that idea about requesting a desired time and then
Mhm.
go back, because how often are you sending to multiple people? How is 11 on Tuesday, 12 on Wednesday? And they're flying back and forth. And by the time this person wants that Wednesday at 12, it's already booked by this person over here. So that's perfect.
Mhm.
And as I was listening to you, this is so funny when we're our own consumers. I was thinking, body worker. I need an osteopath. I had three different osteopaths over the years, and I couldn't tell you the name of any of them, and none of them have contacted me since that time. As I'm listening, part of my brain was like, where do I find their names? I shouldn't be thinking about this. I should be having something in my inbox every week about, hey, between our visits, you could be giving your horse this kind of a massage. Make your horse happy. See you in a couple weeks. They
Mhm.
should be sending regular emails saying, hey, it's been 6 weeks. And with our automated system, you can set that up, right? It's been 6 weeks since the last service.
Exactly. Let's get you on the calendar
Let's
again.
think about how much money they lost just
Mhm.
through this one thought, where I'm now going to go and ask my barn owner for yet another name or one of their names.
Exactly. And for those people that are ambulatory, being able to organize your schedule in a way, especially if you work on a cycle, hoof care being 5 weeks
Mhm.
or 6 weeks, or even if it's a 3 month schedule, it allows you to say, okay, I'm going to be in this area on these days and have a dedicated booking calendar for just that. But then you have appointment reminders that go out once people are scheduled. And you can also send any type of policies, any pre-appointment checklists that you need them to consider. Everybody is so busy in their day-to-day lives that these kinds of details fall through the cracks.
They do.
And having these reminders for your clients is a breath of fresh air for them.
So we talked about booking in combination with emails. I just really thought one setup that they can do with our system. So you send an email after, after 4 weeks of treatment have passed, you send
Mhm.
an email, say, make sure you book your next appointment. You're already 4 weeks in. We noticed that your horse goes best at a 7, 8 week cycle. Oh my
Mhm.
God, do you know how many times I would have booked this already?
I actually
Crazy.
have that built out in my husband's account. It helps educate them to be better horse owners and to be better clients for you. Who doesn't want clients that are actually getting easier and easier to work with? It lets you have a better day at work. It lets them have a better experience as a client. Ultimately, it leads to better care for the horses.
From a consumer standpoint, I now value this person higher because of their systems. I
Beautiful.
see them as more professional, as more having it together, as a bigger operation. Because if you have to like slot yourself in instead of them, messaging you on WhatsApp going, hey, do you need me again? Which is kind of begging and weird and doesn't feel right. It's like, wow, these people know what they're doing. So they become a lot less comparison fee dependent. They don't have, yeah, everybody in my area charges that much for body work, osteo work, or whatever. My system sets me up to show up much more professionally. And then that leads us into setting up automated memberships. But that's beyond today. You had a third point.
So, one of the final really big sticking points for horse business owners is payments and not having to chase payments from their clients. It is a huge point of contention both between the business owner and the client, and also, who in the horse industry hasn't gotten behind on invoicing to a point where cash flow becomes a major issue, or
Mhm.
they're kind of doing it on like the honor system of like, oh yeah, we'll catch up at x and x date, and that day goes by and you have forgotten to send invoices and now you've lost track, and so essentially you've given your time away.
Doesn't look all that professional either.
No, exactly, and it makes you feel chaotic and overwhelmed in addition to having a negative consequence for your cash flow. It also makes the clients feel kind of gross, like they don't want to book with you until it all gets caught up again, or it messes up their cash flow because
Mhm.
now they've got so many back invoices due that they have to pay you in some big chunk of money, which
Mhm.
is really uncomfortable for them as well.
When you first, as a client, book a service, you mentally set that money aside. Now the invoice doesn't come and you forget about that money. So there's, the law of vacuum that works very well with money. So
Mhm.
you forget that that's already been spent, basically. You spend it on something else, and now, whoop, comes the late bill. You get a negative feeling towards that person. Not at all justified, just a
Mhm.
normal
Mhm.
consequence, right?
Mhm. Yep, exactly. By having an ability to set up automated invoices, this is especially great for, any type of business that has some sort of cyclical business like a boarding barn or a training facility where there's like monthly payments, or based off of an appointment, like after 10 appointments, an invoice gets sent, or prior to the next 10 appointments, an invoice gets sent. Being able to automate that so that you don't have to think about it and you just get a notification when something gets paid,
Hmm.
or a notification when it hasn't been paid, and you can actually then follow up with them. It not only makes you seem significantly more professional, it takes that mental load off of you. It allows your clients to plan and prepare better for their financial budgets. It keeps your cash flow in balance, and essentially everybody wins from that situation.
If anybody wants a demo of our system where we can show you how to automate it, there are many ways to reach out to us. Below, comment, DM us, email us. We find you, whether you use our system or not. To think in systems, whether it's the SOP, the standard operating systems, or it is in these automation systems. Yes, it takes a one-time effort to set it up, to
Mhm.
learn how they work in the first place. Takes a little bit of rewiring in your brain in regards to thinking in systems. You don't have to turn into a McDonald's, but some things about something being the same. And this was the initial McDonald's success, right? That no matter where you went in the world, you can expect the same things because there's a standard system. If my horse gets treatment from you, I can expect that invoice 48 hours later in my inbox. When I book an appointment, I can expect reminder emails and a text 10 minutes before, whatever it is. That gives me assurance. It soothes my own system. I can expect sameness from you, not great service when you're not busy and then catch up when you are. It's always the same.
I used to be one of these people where I would think of systems and having things be the same all the time as the most boring, mind numbing thing to possibly contemplate. I felt
Yeah.
constrained and blocked in so that my creativity couldn't really run wild like I'd loved it to do. You know, as I said earlier in the discussion, when I was traveling all of the time for work, systems were the thing that kept my life in order and actually let me breathe. And eventually became probably, I'm going to say, the sexiest, most exciting part of my life because it gave me that freedom to do the things I wanted to do and not the things that weighed me down, that I forgot to do, that, just made me frustrated and angry at myself for not getting them done and, upsetting clients and things like that. And we have clients now that think in terms of systems and workflows. And these are older horse professionals that were tech averse when they started working with us.
Or
That,
illiterate, as they said.
yeah, exactly. That now think in terms of workflows and systems and SOPs, and it allows them to get things done quickly, efficiently, and have that creativity to come up with new ideas, new offers, new
Because
ways
there's
of
plenty of stuff that doesn't work according to systems. That's the thing. And we always say, we love to build a boring business. Because life has its own plans anyway. It's not like, oh my God, there's nothing else to do once I have systems. It's just taken away the tedious. And what we've also learned from brain science is that what we have to hold in our heads, like the to-dos, the catch-ups, the Lordy, I have to answer so and so, takes away from our ability to be present and to be productive. It robs us of the things that we actually value. How many of us can't sleep sometimes because the to-do list got too long or the non-written down to-do list got too long? That's what is the benefit and the joy of a systematized, organized, running like a well-oiled machine business, and only systems can allow you to do that.
So hopefully you found this conversation more exciting than daunting. That's one of the things that we specialize in, is helping people build strategic systemized businesses so that you can do your work better and have that huge heart-driven impact that you want to have on the horse world.
And the little bandwidth to earn some more money.
And have more
That's
fun.
the running after non-system to-do list is a losing proposition, really. You should be engaging in the things that make money, not in the ones that don't, right? You feel busy, but you're actually never really productive. So whether that's with our software or best with our coaching combined with our software, one system at a time, one standard operating system at a time, you can literally clean up your barn aisle of your business and start to feel like you can breathe, proud of your business. And if you ever were to sell your business, the value is in the systems, not in your own personal experience.